Hello, my wonderful people. Today, I'm doing the most sought after strategy. Okay, most sought after strategy because so many people have been coming into my inbox asking me if we do just boom and crash or we do other indices. And yes, I do, but well, as per now, I'm more of specializing on boom and crash because I've seen some secrets there. But the truth is, I do all these kind of indices. Okay, so this here is for you, for those who want for forex and those who want for VIX volatility 100, 50, 25, name it all. Okay, so here it goes. This strategy is so simple and you don't need to struggle about it. It's as simple as what you're seeing on your screen. Okay, if it is, this is tape index that I've opened the chart. If it is let me say, if it is a boom and crash, make sure you use it on M15 and above. For VIX and this other, you can use it on M5, M15, even M1, but I wouldn't do much of M1 because M1 is so noisy. So you can do from M5, but for boom and crash, don't try M5. Okay, just do M15 and above for this strategy because it's more of price action. And when you're doing price action, you don't need to be seeing the noise of the spikes for the boom and crash. You will only see the market strategy if you're seeing it on 15-minute time frame and above. And so this strategy covers more like price action. So we need to see the full candles as they are forming, not like the spikes. Okay, so let me start with the setup. Very simple, just two indicators. I've just put the white line that you're seeing is moving average 50 just to give me the general trend of what is happening in the market, but the truth is I'm just using two indicators. Let's get it. So here we are, it's just the main window here. So the moving average, now leave the moving average 8. The moving average, the first one is moving average 50. Apply to shift method simple, apply to close, whatever color that you want. The second indicator is the alligator at default settings. Okay, alligator at default settings, that is 13.88553. okay, smooth, median, plus h/2. okay, the third indicator is just the fractals as they are default. Okay, nothing changed. So how do we use this strategy? Just as simple as that, not complicated. Okay, so the alligator is always calculated, like it is moving average that has calculated itself. And even if when you are on boom and crash, especially on M1, you are trying to catch spikes, but I will do that for special day. You will realize that these alligator lines are used as resistances even for spikes to happen. Okay, so the same with all the currency pairs. Like if it reaches any of these three lines that you're seeing, it will always either spike or reverse or something. Okay, so how do we do, or how do we use when the market comes like this place here? Sorry for that. This place here, the lines are above the charts. Okay, the lines are above the charts, so you will not be taking any trade that is coming towards the lines, but you will be taking only trades that are going away from the lines. Okay, so at this point, okay, let's not pick here specifically because it was reversal, so this is like a wrong place to place your trades. And fractals mostly appear when when like one candle has been closed completely before the other one opens, that is when fractals appear. Okay, so take for example, let's not pick the ones with reversal, let's pick from around this point, because basically you would have seen this area is a consolidation area. Let's pick from this area. So we can only pick trades that are going away from our lines. Okay, going away from our lines. And how would I know that? I would know that if the first thing is the candle has closed down on the moving averages. Okay, the candle has closed down on our moving averages. The second thing, there's a fractal that has appeared here to tell you that this is the highest peak. So the next one that will happen will be like from midway going down. Okay, so it has to be a fractal that our moving average lines are covering. Okay, our moving average lines are covering, like it is from our lines going down. Okay, it should not be above our lines, but it should be from the middle of our lines going away from the line. Okay, now like this point here was a most probable trade, this one here, and from there it of course was coming, sorry, let me pick another arrow. Of course it was covering up to, sorry for that, of course it was covering up to the other side. Like the next candle that came started on halfway of this candle, but the fractal here has to be like in between your lines or completely below. It should not be above like this. Okay, it should not be above, but it should be like in between here or completely down. Okay, but it has to be going away, especially if you're seeing this white moving average, you know we are on a downtrend. Okay, so it has to be moving away from where the 50 moving average is. So this fractal here was a very legitimate trade setup. Okay, so it was a legitimate trade setup. You could have placed your sell on this candle and you would have rode with it. So the first time it started like reversing, the first green candle you can close. Okay, the first green candle you can close, because this mostly, because we are on indices and indices are it can be a bit volatile, but if you want to do it for like H1 you can still do that. This strategy is not limiting you to any time frame. So the minimum you can do is 5 minutes, the maximum you can do is 4 hours. Feel free to apply to wherever you want. Okay, as long as you use the correct procedure. Like if you're on 4 hour, use 4 hours. If you're on 1 hour, use 1 hour. If you're on M15, use M15. So, and it has to be, the lines have to be above the candles below, and so this our fractal should be below the line. Okay, and it should be going away. So the moment retracements start coming, you can close. Okay, you can close. So if for example you are on M1, not M1, I mean H1, you see you would have gotten like 2-3 candles of H1, and that would have been very great profit. So where do you place your stop loss? You place your stop loss where your fractal is, because anything that will go above that would have invalidated that signal. Okay, so you open a trade here, sorry again it's gone. So you open a trade the beginning. Oh, what is happening with my screen? They are running away. Okay, wow, but anyway, you understand what I'm talking about. Now come and look at this area. My screen is so much misbehaving. I don't know what is wrong. Yeah, so let me just delete all the lines. Delete and pick another one. So like this point here, there's a crossover. So you would not had placed your trade until when the lines had crossed over completely. So which was the first legitimate trade setup? It would have been these fractals that you're seeing, these three fractals anyone could do. Okay, so even if you are hit at a stop loss on the first trade, the second trade, the third one, as in it would have just hit you small loss, but you could still had recovered on the third trade. Okay, and you would have gone all the way up with it, yeah, before it starts. Actually, the right point for closing your trade, especially if it has moved for long, you can close it mostly if it starts retracing and reaches our first alligator line. But if it was on a small time frame and you've gotten your 3-4 candles, you can always close. Okay, but if it is on a larger time frame, you can always give it room to retrace back, because the moving average 50, the white line, gives you the general trend direction. And mostly if you've gotten if you caught the market down here as it was reversing and it went in your favor, there's no need of closing early. What you can do is you can just lock some profit and then you keep trailing. Okay, so this strategy works on all the currency pairs. I've used it at some point even with my forex, like the currency pairs GDP, JPY, and all the other currencies. But for forex, when I was still doing forex, I was using other strategies like the market maker and the rest. Okay, so this is specifically, I've used this with the indices, because before I started trading boom and crash, I was so much into the VIX, and it really did wonders for me. So this is one strategy that you can use for your indices. It works wonders, but only if you respect the rules of this strategy. Like, you should not place a trade if our fractal is outside our line, and our fractal should be going away from us. Okay, our fractal should be going away from us, and most probably the right places to always take that trade should be like from such crossovers here. Okay, like around this area. So, well, you can still pick these trades around in between. Like when you want to add more trades, you can still pick these fractals that are coming. But the right place to pick a trade is after this crossover, after all the alligators and the moving average has crossed. Okay, so you find the nearest, like there, the nearest fractals, and then now you place from there going up. Okay, so it's a simple strategy but very efficient, and it has a very high success rate. Look, in this kind of setup, the right place, the right signal could have been this here. Why? Because it was like after completion of all the moving averages. Okay, so even if it had come back to hit us and take us out of the market, so our stop loss could have been on top here, it wouldn't take us above there. So the next time we got another one, the next time, I mean, it came and went down below us, we could have placed a trade and gone with it. So yes, there are moments the stop loss will hit you, because you know a fractal will appear after that candle has closed. Okay, so a fractal will appear after the candle has closed, but just use the fractal itself as a stop loss. Don't lose more than that. So there are moments you will lose 1 or 2 trades, but the moment you get a winning trade, even if you really don't want, like after it's completely crossed to the other side, you can see something like this. But I wouldn't want to like place a trade before this complete exchange, like the trend has changed. Okay, so I would only place after this white line. But there are those people who are high risk takers, they change after they place a trade after like this other fractal here. But for me, I would wait until the crossover is complete, or probably after like 3 crossovers, which is here, before only the last crossover. Okay, maybe after 3 crossovers could be nice, before the last white crossover. Okay, so maybe here. So this here would have been a right signal. And can you see, picking it from there, you could have come with it all the way before it started retracing and coming to take you out of the market. So the right thing also to do with this kind of strategy, especially if you're on a small time frame, always lock your profit. So you can leave like 2 candles, but always, you know, if I was to take that trade, I would lock my profit around here or even around here. So I would give room only to 1 candle, so that when it retraces back, it will take me out of the market, because there are so many other opportunities with this strategy. So many, they will always be appearing all through as you are going. So all these white fractals were trading signals, as long as our white line is above us. So all these were proper trading signals. Okay, all this, as much as I would wish to avoid this, but as long as I'm a bit like sure, like a reversal didn't happen, because when a reversal wants to happen, the candles will cross over the moving averages. So I would miss this, yes, but immediately the candle started coming down, even if there's no other fractal in between here, I would place a trade in reference to this top fractal here, though I had not like taken it legitimately until I had crossed my line downwards. Okay, so as long as it's crossed back and you know it's coming to be contained in my moving averages again, I can still place, as long as I'm within my moving averages, like I've crossed back completely. Okay, so you can leave this temporarily, but after you've crossed your somewhere here, you can use it, like you're somewhere here, you can use it to go down. Okay, so you see, all these white fractals could have been trade setups. As long as you are going with your trend, you can always add and add and add as you go with the trend. Yeah, as you go with the trend, and make sure you lock some profit. Make sure you lock some profit. Now this is what I was talking about. See this, a fractal is outside our lines, but immediately after that, it comes back to be contained within our moving averages. So the moment I would have seen these crossovers, we've started going down, I could have probably placed my trade around the middle of this here, going down, in using this fractal as a reference, because it was a general trend, so it was just a small retracement. So I would have placed my trade around here, as long as I've crossed over my moving averages. Okay, and you see this trade signal here, it gave you so many pips coming down from here all the way coming down. So yes, you use this fractal. At first you ignored because you didn't know if the market is reversing or what, but the moment our chart had crossed our moving averages and gone down, you could still reduce that trade setup. Okay, so that was a valid trade there. Let's move forward. So I'm not lying to you, there are times when You will hit your stop loss, yes, but when you find a winning trade, you know, I know people who use strategies of like you win one, you lose one, you know, 50-50%. I know people even who used 40-60, like losing 60, winning 40. I know even people who lose 70% and win 30%, but they still make huge money. Why? Their stop loss margin is always very small. So you can find yourself losing 5, 6, 7 trades. But the moment you come and get one winning average, it will always give you back all your losses. Okay. So that's it for this strategy, and hope you put proper use. You can always add other indicators to help you. I would for sure still want to advance this in future. I've used it in a while back, and it applies to all the currencies. Let's check. I was on step index. Let's check boom. New chart. This is boom. You see, still applies the same thing. Applies to the same thing again and again. But I told you on boom, make sure you do it on 15 minutes time frame. Okay, make sure you do it on 15 minutes time frame, but it works. All these fractals you are seeing are trade setups. Okay, they are all trade setups. So let's check crash. Here we are. You see, still respecting. So this is the same setup that I was telling you about. Like, you know, yes, it is outside, but after it, all our moving averages have been crossed, like it's been contained within our area. You